How often do you catch yourself thinking, I wish things were different? It's a constant battle that most of us are going through in our minds. And it usually stems from an inner resistance towards the reality that is in front of you and living through stories that your mind has created that is not willing to accept the way certain things are. But how one truly finds happiness and begins to let go of those formed attachments is ceasing to resist what is the present moment, the power of living in the now. And when you stop trying to control the reality in front of you, you begin to accept the reality that is your current life, that is everything on the outside of you. And when you start to shift that perspective to things being okay the way they are, and when things are not happening in your favor, to not resist them, to let them be. And those thoughts of the things in the past that you didn't like, that were not in accordance to what you wanted, that created negative emotions and thoughts. Learning to accept what is for those things as well is what's going to be a breakthrough for you. And to start to shift your current reality to one that loves life the way it is right now. You could be that way. You have it within you to find this peace. And the reason we don't feel peace or love for the right now is because of that inner resistance and that war that we have with the reality in front of us. And a lot of it stems from relationships that don't go your way, or feeling like things aren't fair because you didn't get your big break. You didn't get what someone else got, which also leads to feeling inferior, like the feelings that you may have felt in your past, in school, in childhood, or towards your brothers and sisters. When I began to start to feel this way about life, the inner resistance I used to feel towards life, that I always had to drink or smoke weed to not have to deal with these thoughts that create who I am right now. And what was creating who I was in that moment in the past was rejections and failures, and expecting those to keep on happening because one individual did this to me, another individual that looks this way is going to do that to me as well, which created the assumptions back then, which created the level of self-concept I had back then, which continued to place resistance on beautiful, attractive women I had feelings for, and pushing them further away from me before even trying to create a relationship with them. And in recent times, when I brought awareness to how I was viewing life back then, I knew that I was doing that to myself by the resistance of not accepting the current reality in front of me and not cherishing the great relationships that I had and the community I had built at the time. I always focused more on what I didn't have rather than acceptance for what is or what is happening in my current life, which kept me chasing after other people's approval to fill that void. So the big breakthrough for you is starting to look at life through a different lens. And when you begin to put on the lens, the glasses of someone who accepts everything 100%, we're going to shift this. We're going to be doing it 100. You got this. I know you do. When you begin to look at life like that, you don't look at people who trigger similar thoughts and emotions from those past life moments to create your current reality, because you're better than that. And when you let go to the resistance that's created, you actually create a reality that is filled with freedom and love and peace, because those people approving of you, validating you, making you feel like you're enough, was never what was needed in your life. Acceptance for the present moment is when you can finally feel love for who you are without a requirement from others. It is a powerful way of believing, which creates your identity. And this is not living through the ego, because the ego wants all of those things I just mentioned in the video so far. And if the ego doesn't get them, then you go to work in your mind to try to manipulate an outer event, which creates even more resistance than there already was in the first place. Letting go of resistance is an allowing of your thoughts. You ever read the book Letting Go? An allowing of your thoughts to be there. When you resist what is currently happening and how people currently feel, and you feel the way you do, and you don't try to fight it, you just be. Your contribution to what you are doing in your path in life has nothing to do with receiving things from others. And when you are on this path as a strong individual, you will attract those. You will attract what you once needed, but you let go of the resistance of wanting it and being willing to accept what actually approves of you instead of chasing those who don't. And then living in toxic, negative energy that continues to attract toxic patterns, which become addictions, like somebody who ghosts you and continues to come back. It's resistance. Resistance to what is was that this person ghosted you, made you feel like that, and then they continue to come back. Why do you continue to allow that? Let me know. When the inner resistance has been let go of, this person exiting or entering the life will not matter. The only thing that matters is how you view yourself and how you feel about everything that is around you. It's all conforming to your assumptions. And when your assumption is that I am a beautiful individual, I am someone who can be more spiritual, I allow the flow of love to flow within me and all around me, connected to the divine in whichever form you believe in, whether it's God or the universe, your religion. When you allow an other power to feed you energy, you get into your creative flow. You get into feeling love for the present moment, and you're not resisting things on the outside of you to get those needs met. You're not needing to protect yourself from people because of the fear of rejection. You're simply being yourself as openly as you could possibly be. Because what do I teach you on this channel? To be 100% authentic, regardless of the tension it creates in others or the love it attracts in others. You're good either way, remember? Neutrality is an acceptance for what is. When you are neutral towards the life in front of you, you are not placing resistance on it or things to happen or those past life moments making you be the victim. You're not the victim. You're also not better than others. We are all equal. We're all living on earth. We came here to live our life purpose and to feel love for our lives. And when you feel that way about your life, you can openly share that love that you feel with other people. When I started to feel this way about life and wanted to create a channel where I could speak openly about it, that's where I became even more of the real me. It's because I let go of the resistance of all of those failed attempts to relationships before I got married. I let go of them because they are not part of who I am. They are just moments in time, learning lessons, helping me grow into the individual that I am today. When I really let go of resistance was when I stopped to try winning somebody's approval that I felt a lot of physical attraction towards and allowed them to treat me like I am non-existent. And for them, that's how they felt like they had to navigate that relationship with me. And it would bring back emotions from my past that this person likes me, has me on social media, but when they see me in person, they have to steer away or treat me like I am non-existent because they're afraid of how I feel about them in return. So there is always a motive on the other end. It's not about judging or condemning other people. It's about realizing what is and what is happening in front of you is happening for a reason. And if this person is doing to you similar to what I've experienced a few years ago, and there's also some maybe sexual attraction, some awkward vibrations going on between me and this other individual, and that's completely fine. I let go of the resistance of needing that person to even acknowledge me. I don't need to treat them like they don't exist in return for me to feel good. I acknowledge their existence and go on with my life because my character is not dependent on results from them acknowledging me or not. How liberating was it when I began to look at life like that? It did not come overnight. Because even in the past few years, someone who would treat me like that, not wanting to acknowledge my existence, would bring back up a lot of those old feelings. And they come from my childhood relationships or relationships I've had throughout my life, which created temperaments. And every time those things get triggered once again, because I didn't like those things, life was not going my way, then I felt like I was inferior. I felt like I wasn't good enough once again. I realized that was just a pattern I was addicted to that kept me spiraling back into that old mode. But I changed that mode. And what do I speak of on the channel? We become gamers. We're not in the mode of being victims and not good enough, or depending on someone's acknowledging us or not. We become gamers. And we're not manipulating this person or other relationships. We are letting go of the resistance we once placed on those two things and being free to be ourselves. And if it repels people like that person I just mentioned to treat us like we are non-existent, then the universe and the vibration and the state of consciousness and everything that is happening in your favor. And when you begin to love your life and look at those things that happen to you as secondary, you begin to shift into someone who doesn't allow yourself to be made felt like that in your frame, in your field of energy. And you can simply exist around this individual or others, whether they approve of you or not. It's not the end of the world, and it's going to continue to happen. But people aren't on the spiritual journey that you and I are on. People aren't as open or as transparent about their pasts as some of us can be. And the more that you allow those feelings to be there and not resist them and just allow them, the thoughts that are connected to those feelings that keep bringing up that old stuff, the more that you can begin to let it go for real. I highly recommend picking up the book Letting Go by David Hawkins, because it teaches you the letting go technique of not resisting, allowing things to be, and raising your level of consciousness according to the chart of consciousness that is explained in each one of those states leading up to enlightenment. You are what you will want to be. You will be in the state of consciousness that you choose. You are as attractive as you view yourself. And when you begin to look at your life this way, others will view you in the same light. So continue on this trek. Stay grounded within your own energy and continue pushing forward.